That'll be it for qualifying for Sean Roberts, and indeed it will be. First driver to take the checkered flag and see the end of qualifying. Sean Roberts puts in a 1:41.5. Looking for any others that could improve. The sun is out from between the clouds, beating down on the track, continuing to raise the track temperature, making it difficult. Welcome to everyone watching on HJBC and watching on ChampCar Live. This is the ChampCar iRacing Series, the official sim racing championship of ChampCar Endurance Series. It's round 8 from Barber Motorsports Park in the Global Mazda MX-5, qualifying just coming to an end. And Michael Polasek improves on his final lap, but not enough to take pole. He will be 0.01 seconds behind Lincoln Fox. Super competitive qualifying between those two drivers, with Ryan Pucktel in third. 1 hour of racing ahead of us. It's all happening live right now. Logan Senhauser, I don't think is going to be using those set of tyres come the race. Checkered flag waving at Barber Motorsports Park. Looking brilliant in this July sun, but it's looking very, very toasty. And that's reflected in the track temperatures that are going to see high tyre wear and tyre drop-off as the heat begins to soak into them. Qualifying is done and locked in, and so for the rolling start, this is how they're going to look. Lincoln Fox from the championship leader, Michael Polasek. Ryan Pucktel has moved his way to third. Kyle Robertson in fourth. Alex Harrison in fifth from Jared Collins in sixth. Miles Brown seventh. Joshua Soto in eighth. Aaron Brown ninth. And Mitchell Booth, the top 10, the 5 first rows on the grid. Behind them, Tim Wire and TJ Yankee. Orlando Herald. This is one of his local tracks in the Mid-South. Bowie Suin in 14th, Cameron Senhauser 15th, Logan Senhauser, his brother, alongside him in 16th for an all Senhauser Racing team row right there. Will Warren and Matt McGee, MCG in 18th, Kyle Guillory 19th, and Joseph Maher, with a very unique driver number, in 20th. The field of Global Mazda MX-5 Cup cars continues with John Nicholford in 21st, Steve Hermé in 22nd, LaShawn Young-Dilworth in 23rd, I think making their first start in the ChampCar iRacing Series. Colin Lounsbury in 24th, Nick Love 25th, Kevin Glass 26th, Curtis Lee in 27th, Cindy Pickett in 28th, with Sean Roberts 29th. Ian Giebler will be starting from the pit lane 30th, and Bill Salen and Christopher Reagan, don't know if we're going to have them. We'll see when the field pulls away and when the green flag drops. At the moment, the field gridding up on the start-finish line behind the Ford Mustang pace car. So here rolls the field. Fox and Polasek, the front row. Puchtel and Robertson on the next row. Alex Harrison and Jared Collins, the row behind that. Let's take a look at where things stand coming into round 8 in the ChampCar iRacing series. So across 12 races, it's your best 9 results that count. After round 7, if you factor in dropping 2 of 3 results, Michael Polasek has 250 points to Ryan Puchtel's 222. Jared Collins there in third, 215. Puchtel's been incredibly consistent. Jared Collins is just a little bit behind him on the grid today. And then the top 10 completed by Aaron Smith, Ryan Carwile, Kyle Robertson, Aaron Brown, Bill Woods, Sean Fritz, and Paul Darling. It is still all to play for, but Michael Polasek has been on a winning streak. He doesn't start on pole today, so close against Lincoln Fox. We'll see what plays out at Barber Motorsports Park. So when the pace car pulls in and the green flag drops, 60 minutes will begin. Every driver starting with 4.3 gallons of fuel on board means they're going to need to make a pit stop to add more fuel at some point during the race at their discretion. And when they do so, there will be some drivers looking to maybe change a left side tyre or two, see if that'll give them an advantage in the back half of the race. The Mustang pace car is in. Lincoln Fox is wasting no time. We're at speed, headed towards the green flag. It waves. 60 minutes begins for round 8 of the ChampCar iRacing series in 2025 at Barber Motorsports Park. And Lincoln Fox making great use of that qualifying speed and that pole position to lead into turn 1. We go into 2 and 3 over the crest, continuous long right-hander. This is where the tyres begin to hurt. When you head up over the crest, great overtaking opportunity into turn 6 here. Descending braking zone, extends the braking zone, and looking down the inside, one of the Drivetrainer Motorsports cars, looks like Kyle Robertson goes a bit wide. Miles Brown gains hugely and moves ahead of him up into 4th place. Riding over the curb into turns 7 and 8. Battle still on here. Kyle Robertson in 5th versus Joshua Soto in 6th. Soto's already made up a couple of spots so far on this lap, but as they take a quick flip-flop change of direction, leaping over the curbs, he must slot in behind Kyle Robertson. Jared Collins right on him. Aaron Brown, very colourful snack food livery there as well. Alex Harrison dropped a lot of spots on the race start. I think he ran wide at some point, so from 5th on the grid, he now runs 9th with Mitchell Booth right behind him. 2.2 miles of racetrack sees even these modest MX-5s lap at very, very quick times. We're around with the first lap completed already. High drama on the front straight for the race lead. Lincoln Fox needing to defend. Polasek looking around the outside of turn 1 to take the inside of turn 2, and a tiny bit of contact door to door sends Lincoln Fox around Michael Polasek into the race lead. Miles Brown jumping up into 2nd as well. Space was given in 1, but wasn't enough space given in turn 2. Going to a replay right now. I think enough space was given, but it's tough to be on the outside line in these circumstances. What a race start from Miles Brown, 7th on the grid, already running 2nd, demonstrating a lot of pace. Not afraid to have a little bit of a leap over the curbs. And absolutely every driver has taken the start of the race. So with no qualifying time, Christopher Reagan and Bill Salen started at the back of the grid. Ian Giebler started from the pit lane. And we have 32 MX-5s in action at Barber Motorsports Park for round 8 of the ChampCar iRacing series. But we have Michael Polasek, the championship leader, after 1 lap and 2 corners, back into the lead of the race. Seems very close though through this whole leading group. Miles Brown demonstrating some speed. Ryan Pochtel holding position in 3rd just behind this group. Joshua Soto moving up through the field into 4th. And with their first flying lap of the race completed, a new fastest lap comes in for Joshua Soto, a 1:38.5. The Spider looks on at this corner here as Joshua Soto and Ryan Pochtel look on, and Pochtel gets down the inside of Miles Brown, so that position swaps once again. 2 wide on the exit. It's a run towards the museum corners, where Brown will have the inside, and it typically feels like it's one line in the braking zone bouncing over the curbs here. Indeed it is, as Pochtel loses out, gets a nasty ride over the curbs and ends up wide towards the discarded rubber, the dirt and the gravel offline there. Brown keeps 2nd, Pochtel keeps 3rd, Joshua Soto all over them from 4th position. As Michael Polasek's lead goes to 1.2 seconds. Someone's going to need to watch out, otherwise it'll be Polasek, then Clean Air, then the whole rest of the field. Through the final corner, you don't want to run too wide because there's not much in the way of forgiving runoff. Dipping half a tyre into the grass while you've still got throttle and steering lock on can spear you around into the pit wall from that final corner if you extend the track too much. Michael Polasek, that looks like that fastest lap of the race is going to stand, a 1:37.9, the rest of the pack behind him in the 1:38s, 1:39s from 10th place, and 1:40s for some other cars through the field. That's the kind of pace we're doing, sub 2 minutes around this 2.23 mile course. The timing tower there at turn 6. Big braking zone, looking like the biggest braking zone on the course, looking like a good overtaking opportunity. Brown needed to defend his 2nd place, but there's such a compact group of racers behind him. Ran a little bit wide through the museum turn, and Ryan Pochtel had a look, but then if you're not clear by the time you go through this chicane, it is single file through there. You can just about do it flat out, but only if you have all of the racetrack to play with. Leaping over the curbs side by side is going to cost you a lot of pace and a lot of time. And another bad ride over the curbs out into the grass from Miles Brown. Ryan Pochtel goes through. Joshua Soto is going to look for the inside as well to get him into the podium positions, and there's just a little bit of contact between them, and the bumper goes flying for Miles Brown, dislodging his front bumper against the rear bumper of Joshua Soto as they braked for the penultimate corner. Well, the Sennhausers started side by side, but have separated just a little bit since then. Cameron Sennhauser in 16th, Logan Sennhauser in 19th is just behind Colin Lounsbury, heading over the crest at turn 4. Lounsbury sets for a late apex with a late turn in, and Logan Sennhauser turned in a little earlier, but didn't seem to get quite the exit. They're just trailing this group led by Bowie Suin, with Matt McGee, Cameron Sennhauser, Joseph Maher as well. So that's this little group, 6 cars, and a group led by Steve Hermé in 20th. Michael Polasek is a group all of his own because this is second and third, Ryan Puchtel and Joshua Soto. And Puchtel runs wide. This is how they picked up some positions earlier when Miles Brown made that same mistake. Seems like Puchtel doesn't end up quite as far out in the grass, does rejoin, still ahead of Joshua Soto in this second place group. Down into the fast turn 1. Not everyone going all the way out, and to give them a better angle to turn into this incredibly long turns 2 and 3. Your exit off of 3 carries your speed all the way along. Joshua Soto seems to have done well. Ryan Puchtel is not defending. Joshua Soto just sits behind. And Miles Brown not seeming to have lost any pace, at least in the pack, with that front bodywork missing. Showing off a little too much of the radiator and front crash structure. Check up around Aaron Brown and Jared Collins through the corner there. Nearly saw some contact happen. Everyone managed to keep their nose clean. There goes Michael Polasek. 3.5 seconds later, Ryan Puchtel, Joshua Soto, Miles Brown, Kyle Robertson, Jared Collins, etc. That's the way the race and the top 10 is playing out at the moment. 10 minutes of racing complete. We're moving a little further into the afternoon in this session as well. Officially, the weather forecast is mostly cloudy, but the part of the sky that wasn't cloudy is where the sun was coming through during qualifying and the start of this race. Track temps will drop, air temp dropping just a tiny bit, if that cloud cover comes across and blocks the sun for a bit longer. Six laps completed in the opening 10 minutes, and this is the kind of racing you often expect to see from these cars. So equal, very easy to get 90% of the pace out of them. And the slipstream effect when you stay close to someone just gives you that 0.2, 0.3, half a second you need to stay with them as a pack. Kyle Robertson has a snap and a slide. His right rear tyre not giving him enough grip. Jared Collins doing better, will move ahead, approaching the museum complex. Big collection of not just race cars and road cars, but motorcycles at the museum on the outside of the corner there. Very impressive facility, lots of permanent and rotating exhibits. It's Aaron Brown just needing to drop in behind Kyle Robertson as they approach another predominantly single file section. It's different lines through the double apex right-hander. Some stay tight, some really go all the way out there, but then you leave yourself exposed to the car behind looking to make a little bit of a dive bomb. Didn't happen in that group as they complete another lap. All 32 cars are running and none of them have been to the pit lane yet. But the way the car is configured, everyone's starting with 4 gallons of fuel. You could pit lap 1 and absolutely be able to fit in the fuel to get you to the end. So the pit window is open, but no one wants to do it that early. Here's Lincoln Fox coming back through the field. Fox dropped as far as 31st. Just ahead of Ian Giedler, but now back up into 23rd. And shortly looking for another one. Steve Hermé trying to keep Fox behind for a moment. Second place group past the museum again. They can see Michael Polasek, but they can see him getting just a little bit smaller lap on lap, now with a lead of 4.3 seconds. Joshua Soto just feathering and tapping the brake there to stay right behind Ryan Puchtel. Miles Brown a couple of car lengths further back, facing some pressure from Jared Collins, who's gotten in between the Drivetrainer Motorsports teammates. Just gets 2 tyres in the grass, which is a dangerous thing to do. Seen many drivers spin out from doing that. You kind of got to realise you're about to do it and open up the hands, because if you keep 90 degrees of left-hand steering lock in, then when the grip goes as you touch the grass, it'll spin you around. But you can run through the grass if you open up the hands a little bit and just sort of admit that you're about to extend the track limits. So great overtaking opportunity here, but Soto stays behind Puchtel. Collins almost looks like he decides to stay behind Brown. Beginning to drop 8th and 9th out of this group as well. The gap forming between Aaron Brown in 7th and Alex Harrison in 8th. And Tim Wire a little by his lonesome in 10th. There he is trying to keep up with the pack. Lost a couple of tenths to them on the last lap, just getting out of the tow and draft range. TJ Yankee in 11th. Will Warren has gone from 17th on the grid to 12th in this race, leading a little group there in 12th. And Bowie Suin is sure leading an aggressive-looking group as well, because he's got Cameron Sennhauser looking to the inside, looking to defend that, then sweep back across wide. That is a good defensive manoeuvre. Cameron Sennhauser left himself a little bit exposed to Joseph Maher, who decides against it, but they close up here. Colin Lounsbury's got a good run, looking to bounce across the curb and move ahead of Logan Sennhauser. They're side by side through the penultimate corner here. I think around the outside of the final corner is the way to go. Lounsbury looks to cross over under, a little bit of a twitch from Sennhauser. And then Lounsbury swaps back to the inside, Maher alongside Cameron Sennhauser. So it's all action for the Sennhauser brothers in this pack right now. Cameron in front touches the grass, but still has the inside. Dangerous place to be around the outside there for Maher, but he's incredibly persistent with it. And if you can make it work, it'll give you the inside for the next sequence of corners. Things have also broken loose in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Miles Brown going ahead of Joshua Soto. Puchtel now defending from Miles Brown. 2 wide on the way into the museum turn. Miles Brown around the outside. Puchtel has a big slide across the curb on the inside. Pushes wide. Pushes Brown wide. And Joshua Soto sneaks underneath the both of them. Jared Collins alongside as well as Aaron Brown looks for an offset. It brings Alex Harrison and Mitchell Booth back into the pack, side by side through the chicane, costing themselves time. Miles Brown out into the grass. Ryan Puchtel leads this group. They have all put their boxing gloves on and they are swinging in the 2nd place pack right now. Collins looked to get to the inside of Miles Brown, but that door was closed. Brown breaking deep down the inside, more to defend than to attack. Only one driver yet has been to pit lane, and it's Christopher Reagan, who's gone on the tow hook. Did not catch the incident that gave damage to the number 32 car. Might be able to rejoin. Battle on for 2nd here. Soto with Brown following. Right. Oh, only just space to come across down to the inside. Brown's looking 2 for 1. Joshua Soto crosses over underneath to defend the 2nd place. They're side by side deeper in the pack too. This is classic Mazda Miata MX-5 style racing. As they do it, Michael Polasek gets out to an 8-second lead, putting a gap on this group, but Joshua Soto through to 2nd. Chopping down the inside, Jared Collins runs wide, gets crossed over by Aaron Brown and Kyle Robertson. Unique pit entry here at Barber Motorsports Park. You just carry heaps more speed into the penultimate corner, shoot out wide and into the pit entry. Matt McGee has some damage. He's spun out just before the pit entry and he's heading for it, but he's blocking the pit entry. Well, one of the Love Racing cars is looking to go for it. So what happened? It's before that, I think he's gone out wide in the grass. Nick Love has made a little bit of contact with him as well. And he hasn't been able to turn in the pit entry, and he's lost about 10 seconds because the car wouldn't turn left into pit lane. My guess is that will have started by running wide out on the grass over the blind crest. And then iRacing has given him a black flag for either speeding on pit lane or an unsafe pit entry. And I don't know which one it was, but this is going to be a long and costly pit stop for the 295. One of 5 drivers representing Canada in today's race. Most drivers representing the United States. Joshua Soto, for some reason, representing Antarctica, and Michael Polasek representing South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands. South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands is the southernmost landmass on Earth that is not covered by the Antarctic Treaty. This is facts you didn't think you were going to learn from the ChampCar iRacing series. Curtis Lee is in pit lane, so with 1/3 of the race complete and 2/3 still to go by time, we're starting to see a couple of pit stops, both strategically for the fuel that the drivers are going to require, but also for damage in the case of Nick Love, Matt McGee, and Christopher Reagan. This looks like a 4 tyres decision from Curtis Lee, both sides of the car going up on the jack stands. And then pulling away after 28 seconds. When the leaders do eventually pit, I think we're going to see some pit stops a little bit quicker than that. Fastest pit stops so far, Nick Love, 22.6 seconds. Live timing is available. At champcar.hjbc.live. Live timing is up. So if you're following a teammate, a friend, or you're a massive Salins hot dog fan, you can keep up with their action and their progress. Like right now in the battle for 3rd, Miles Brown is alongside Ryan Puchtel. Brown a little bit wide through 3, but over the crest, we'll have the inside line, which is normally the place to be, and stays just ahead. Joshua Soto's got a chance to break clear of this group. He's got a clean car, he's got the track position, and they're battling behind him, so that looks positive. Tim Wire, Cameron Senhauser, and Kyle Guillory all pit. I think we're not too far away from seeing a couple more here at Barber Motorsports Park. The pit speed is 45 miles an hour. So here's pit entry to the driver's left, so you just don't brake as much heading into the penultimate corner. and you make a little shortcut. No one from this group. Aaron Brown is experiencing a problem in the 45 that I don't know what is. We'll check on it if we can. Joshua Soto's got 1 second clear of third place. Normally you think of 1 second as the gap that the drafting and the slipstream works at. If you're more than a second clear, you've broken the toe, as they might say. And it doesn't hurt that Miles Brown and Ryan Pucktel continue to look to battle each other. Pucktel down the inside. Brown with a wide, sweeping and smooth line. Might be hoping for Kyle Robertson to just chip in here and help him out a little bit if they can make some teamwork happen. From Drivetrainer Motorsport, you've also got LaShawn Young-Dilworth flying the flag of Jamaica, and a few of the other drivers do as well on their helmet. Got a couple of Jamaican flag helmets. The Australian cricket team defeating the West Indies at Sabina Park, Kingston, Jamaica yesterday in an incredibly dominant performance. A couple more drivers heading for pit lane. It includes a duo of drivetrainer cars. Now there will be a possibility for Miles Brown to repair that car. Keep an eye on if that happens. And of course, for these leaders, critical to see if in these hot track temperatures they decide it's worth the time to fit a new left tyre. Robertson, Brown, Mitchell Booth, a whole heap of drivetrainer cars coming in. Brown does get that car repaired. Right hand is going up on these cars. A surprise to me. Lincoln Fox and LaShawn Young-Dilworth also coming in. Left side's also going up. So is this a all-4 tyre change strategy? Lincoln Fox also gets a bit of repair work done as they come in, and in the race off pit road after a 23-second stop, there goes Miles Brown. Kyle Robertson, 26-second stop, just a tiny bit longer, and Mitchell Booth's up to 30 seconds and still ongoing. Not sure for him. Left side action happening for Lincoln Fox too. So with the track temperature still in the 120, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and with so many long, high-speed, continuous loaded corners, it looks like the drivers think there is a performance advantage to be had from changing a couple of them. Race leader Michael Polasek stays out. Got just a tiny hint of traffic up the road from him. And that would be probably Kyle Guillory and Curtis Lee, who've both stopped, battling each other for what's 26th and 27th at the moment. Could move up some spots when a lot of other cars from the midfield pit. Joshua Soto, Ryan Pucktel, Jared Collins, they're not pitting just yet. So I think if you think new tyres are an advantage, you kind of go early on that strategy. If you think they're not, or you're looking for a really short stop, you run long here. So Miles Brown, the leading car to have stopped, and we did see both sides of that car go up on the jacks in the pit stop as well. So the next flying lap from Brown, he's going to be hoping to undercut a few of these cars that he was battling, drivers like Joshua Soto and Ryan Pucktel and Jared Collins. See if the new tyre can come in early and give him an advantage battling for the podium. So this is John Nicholford, Kevin Glass, Steve Hermé, Sean Roberts, 4 drivers that haven't stopped yet. 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Sean Roberts was off the track at one point. I get the feeling he might be a little bit quicker than those in front, but based on fastest lap of the race, he has about half a second on them. Bill Salen's just done a lot of damage to his car, so he's going to be heading to pit lane, just like Joshua Soto and Alex Harrison are. Harrison, where is your pit crew? He's still looking for them. And TJ Yankee, Bowie Suin in, but Bill Salen, I think he's done what we saw happen before. Just a little bit of grass, spinning around, getting the inside. That car will not turn right at all, but it keeps him out of the way of the other cars that are coming in. Joshua Soto's stop is done, 24 seconds. Alex Harrison's stop is done, 20 seconds. Soto looks like he's going to stay ahead of Miles Brown by a little bit. You know, the stop time very similar to Miles Brown, but the pit lane transit time a second and a half quicker. So Joshua Soto's done very well getting into and out of his pit stall. Miles Brown, and then has found himself with a little bit of traffic. There's cars in front of him that haven't stopped yet. He's diving down the inside on Sean Roberts and on Alex Harrison, who's on the outlap. And with Kevin Glass and John Nicholford ahead, who haven't stopped yet, Joshua Soto is, by going longer, I think, and also with a quicker stop, come out ahead of those cars, and that's really helping him save time right now, approaching the halfway point of this race. "30 minutes down, 30 to go. Michael Polasek still leads, 11 seconds ahead of Ryan Puchtel and Jared Collins. Joshua Soto, who was running second, made his pit stop, ended up mostly clear of the traffic as more of the field are coming into pit lane as well. You can always tell who has and who hasn't practiced the pit entry. John Nicholford is on the pit lane speed limiter about 400 yards too early. That's the kind of thing that can make a difference as well in the total pit lane time. Colin Lounsbury on the lane there. Will Warren, the left-hand side of the car up. And he's only 15 seconds into that pit stop, so I think he's going left sides only. Colin Lounsbury's pulling out and away. Cindy Pickett in behind as well. Oh, Miles Brown's just spun trying to pass the traffic, so competing for a podium spot, having pitted early with a slow stop, ended up in some traffic, trying to work his way past drivers like Kevin Glass that haven't stopped yet. Let's take a look. So here he is alongside Kevin Glass, but he's ended up wide. Tire marbles build up there, grass and dirt builds up there, and he did not find the grip he was hoping for. Race leader Michael Polasek in the lane. What service is he going to go for? Right-hand side of the car goes up on the jacks first. This could be a 4-tyre swap for the championship leader. There goes the left side too as the fuel continues to go in. .9 seconds out and away. Not the quickest pit stop in the field, but it looks like Polasek will be fueled up to push hard and with new tyres that will also give him some grip in the remaining 28 minutes. He is 7 seconds ahead of Joshua Soto, who was second before the pit phase window opened. There's the gap between them. Every car in front hasn't stopped yet. The gap is 7.2. Actually, the car Polasek's got in front of him isn't a car that hasn't pitted yet. It's a car that has pitted and is about to go a lap down. It's Ryan Puchtel and Jared Collins who've been saving their fuel, and they're running long, but they 4.3 gallons will not get them 60 minutes of racing and get them to the end, so they'll have to pit soon. So too will Orlando Herald and Sean Roberts. Kevin Glass is pitting now. Miles Brown would have wished that happened earlier. Into the pit lane comes Ryan Puchtel. Jared Collins carries on, and Ryan Puckdell knows where the pit lane speed limit starts. It's there at those yellow cones that he needs to get down to 45 miles an hour. Kevin Glass pulling out of pit stall number 26. "45 available pit stalls on pit road here, so with 32 drivers, everyone gets their own. You don't need to share. There are some other tracks and at bigger grids and more participants where you do end up having to share." Alex Harrison versus Kyle Robertson. Sean Roberts behind hasn't stopped yet and won't stop this lap either. Buckdell's stop is done at 22 seconds. Bit of a grass and a slide and a snap back there from Kyle Robertson. Alex Harrison will get ahead of him. Ryan Puckdell comes out of the pit lane ahead of both of them and into turn 2. It looks like Robertson actually holds on with a scary moment out of the final corner. Robertson definitely looking like he had 4 new tyres, while Alex Harrison may not have. Comes Jared Collins, briefly leading the race for the 1 lap. And the start-finish line is halfway along the pit lane, so he'll actually get to that in the lead of the race as well. They'll count with his pit stall down the exit end. All of the pit stalls are given based on qualifying order, so your pole sitter's just behind the pace car. And so if you qualified 5th or 6th or 7th, you know you're going to be towards the pit exit end. But as service is ongoing for Jared Collins, Michael Polasek will come through and back into the lead of the race. 24 minutes to go. Joshua Soto's also already gone through, but Collins is going to come out ahead of Puckdell, ahead of Robertson, and ahead of Alex Harrison. So remembering that Collins and Puckdell were right alongside each other before Puckdell pitted in. That's a good effort from Jared Collins to end up 2 seconds ahead. If Puckdell caught a little bit of traffic, and I'm seeing a quicker pit lane time from Jared Collins, interestingly as well. Lane time of 46 seconds, lane time of 48 seconds for Puckdell, despite a shorter stop time. So I don't know what kind of a problem Ryan Puckdell had there. Maybe slow getting out of the pit stall and up to the pit lane speed limiter. Sometimes you see drivers kind of run out of fuel halfway down the pit lane and they can't actually keep the pit lane speed limit, but they can coast into their pit stall. Not sure that's what would have happened. There are mechanical black flags out for Cindy Pickett and Kevin Glass. So they're both going to have to stop again. Now, is it combined or separate incidents? This is Pickett. Oh, okay, that is combined. Kevin Glass at the top of the crest in an odd spot. So the two did come together. New fastest lap of the race to Michael Polasek. Now he did take new tyres from what we saw. Both sides of the car went up. Track really hasn't cooled off much. In fact, if anything, I think the track's gotten hotter, but the new tyres respond really well. 132 Fahrenheit for a track temperature is pretty toasty. I think they normally say above about 100 you shouldn't walk your dog on pavement, so don't walk your dog on Barber Motorsports Park. teammates together, TJ Yankee and Bowie Suin. Teammate Mitchell Booth just ahead of them. Aaron Brown in between is a lap down. He might have had an internet or a technical problem as he just dropped out and disappeared and has come back. But at least one, I think 2 laps down. Not sure, but it wasn't looking like a driving mistake or a crash. It might have been a PC crash, internet outage, power outage, any of those things that can get in the way. Michael Polasek is determined to win this race and by as much as he possibly can. His last lap, a 1:37.694. Joshua Soto's last lap, a 1:39.5. The gap grew by almost 2 seconds. As Michael Polasek's lead goes out to 10. Bit more space in the leading pack after the pit stops than there was before, when you couldn't find any clear air between 2nd and 10th. But there are a couple of groups of drivers battling each other. We saw TJ Yankee and Bowie Suin together, and we will once more. Aaron Brown, we know, was quick. He had top 10 pace, but he's a lap down to TJ Yankee. So that's always an interesting situation when you're thinking, is this guy going to get out of the way? And he will. But we know that when it's going well for Aaron Brown, he can hang with the fast guys, no doubt. But doesn't want to get in the way of Yankee and Suin. Orlando Herald, Colin Lounsbury, and Logan Sennhauser. 14th, 15th, 16th at the moment. We've also got Curtis Lee and Ian Giebler. Now, Giebler started from the pit lane as he was meant to, and he's slowly been working his way up through the field. His fastest lap of the race is half a second faster than Curtis Lee. So Giebler's been gaining from a bit of a handicap. So you would imagine on the balance of probabilities, he's a good chance of being able to pass Curtis Lee. Onto the pit straight, and the next car for position is Sean Roberts, just 3 seconds up the road from them as well. Roberts does a 1:41.2, Curtis Lee does a 1:40.8, so they're also, at the moment, catching Roberts. My guess would be Roberts went no tyres as well. Quicker stop from Roberts, but slower pace right now in this later phase of the race. Go past the best overtaking opportunity on the racetrack, and Ian Giebler doesn't take it. So we might have to just wait a little bit. Sennhauser and Lounsbury were battling, and I think Logan Sennhauser got ahead of Colin Lounsbury in this group. They're still both behind Orlando Herald. L. Sennhauser, tiny bit wide, but as long as you get back to the correct line for the final corner, if you leave the final corner at the normal speed, then the disadvantage ends there. And this group, catching Joseph Maher, I think we're going to, over the next 10 minutes or so, see quite a few cases of drivers who lost 10 seconds on the pit lane, taking 4 tyres, gaining on the racetrack and meeting again with the drivers that they were racing before the pit phase. So the two different strategies eventually converge, where the time lost on the pit lane that gives a gain on the racetrack, eventually your fixed term deposit is returned to you with some interest. For example, Ryan Puchtel, 22-second stop. Kyle Robertson, 26-second stop. Last lap, Kyle Robertson 7/10 quicker. You can see that on the graphics on screen. There's also just a tiny bit of traffic at play here for 4th and 5th positions. I think they are clear of that, which might have been Matt McGee or John Nicholford. Finally, the mostly cloudy forecast comes true. A bit of shade and respite out on the racetrack. If you're a driver that didn't take new tyres, you're praying for those track temperatures to drop. But for everyone else, they're thinking if the track stays hot and the tyres go away and overheat and slide, for everyone who took a quick pit stop, then I'll have a good advantage and a chance to gain. Decent convergence of strategy happening towards the end of this one. Alex Harrison, 20-second stop. Miles Brown, 24-second stop. Last lap about the same though. 6th and 7th, Brown's ended a bit offline going in there. Too hot, drops back. Can't carry speed over the crest and continue to flow it through the triple, or is it quadruple right-handers? I think it's quadruple. Yeah, I'd say so. Mitchell Booth has got Bowie Suin just behind. Curtis Lee has cut the course. Ian Giebler is ahead of Sean Roberts and Curtis Lee now, and up into 20th. So they keep their track incredibly pristine. Michael Polasek, race leader, spun. The race leader trying to put some lap traffic a lap down. In the museum turn, late look to the inside on Cindy Pickett, who loses control and tags Michael Polasek around. They weren't alongside going into the corner, but Michael Polasek has so much more grip and cornering speed, and that has cost him a fair bit of time, but not put much damage on him at all. Joshua Soto, 4.8 seconds behind. Not what Michael Polasek needed at all. Cindy Pickett's battling for position with Kevin Glass, so didn't really want to let the race leader through at that point, but maybe should have. Now, Michael Polasek and Joshua Soto are looking at that battle once again. Polasek rejoining just a couple seconds behind. Cindy Pickett in front of us, Kevin Glass in front of that. Two drivers that have already come together in this race. Two drivers that have been twice through pit lane. Both of them should actually be very thankful that at their first pit stop they didn't take their fast repair and still had it for the next time. Michael Polasek, and that's very smart from Cindy Pickett, perhaps recognising the mistake from early on and giving Michael Polasek the whole corner and letting the race leader through. Joshua Soto will be fingers crossed for the same treatment. Otherwise, through this traffic, he's going to struggle to stay with Michael Polasek. Kevin Glass, next car to lap for the race leader, but it feels very single file through this back half of the racetrack. Polasek's going to have to be careful. Polasek through, and then 4.5 seconds back, Joshua Soto got the same task ahead of him of lapping Cindy Pickett and Kevin Glass. Jared Collins, he's not too far behind this either. He's only 3 seconds behind Soto. Your top three are suddenly a fair bit closer, expecting 7 laps to go. Miles Brown's in the pit lane for a second time. Did he not take enough fuel the first time? Or I don't see much damage or any other problem or black flag or anything. Might just be fuel. 6 seconds. Tire change going on. No idea what's going on for the 222. An unexpected delay for the driver that qualified 7th is going to exit the pit lane in 15th or 16th. There's some other cars at speed through turn 1. They're going to end up ahead of him. So he'll be behind Colin Lounsbury and Orlando Harrell. Ten minutes to go. You would have thought all pit stops done for everyone, but Miles Brown needing to make another stop for some reason. You would have expected maybe just a little bit short on fuel. And Pucktel wide out of the final corner. He runs 5th, just behind Kyle Robertson. Closest battle in the top 5 is this group. As Michael Polasek is just able to extend his race lead past 5 seconds. Joshua Soto stays 3 seconds ahead of Jared Collins as they continue to go through a little bit of lap traffic. Just a 2.2 mile circuit means that the race leaders more likely to catch traffic versus at Sebring or Road America or any of the other much longer road courses that we go to, VIR full. Will Warren and Cameron Sennhauser have come together at turn 1. Sennhauser is in the gravel. Warren has a lot of damage on the front right of his car. Sennhauser, okay, so Warren's ahead, bounces the curb and gets into a slide and snaps back. So an honest mistake from Will Warren, but as he lost control, he's gone and tagged and done quite significant damage to the left rear of Cameron Sennhauser. Sennhauser had a look to the inside of turn 1, backed out of it. Will Warren has slid, lost control, and then snapped back, and big damage between both cars. Here's Colin Lounsbury ahead of Miles Brown and Orlando Harrell. Second stop from Miles Brown. He's passed Orlando Harrell since. He's looking to pass Lounsbury, who I think picks the wrong way to go through the traffic here. That might be Bill Salen at a guess. I think it is. Always difficult to know which way to go and how much to back out of it if you're trying to let some leaders through, and if you're the leaders, always confusing to know which side of the racetrack to go to for your best chance of trying to pass them. Lounsbury with an aggressive defense. But Orlando Herald gets down the inside. Does he get too much curb into the museum turn? I think that's just about textbook from Orlando Herald. At one point, I did know where Orlando Herald was from. I thought it was Missouri or Arkansas or something. So I think this is close enough to a home race for him. Closer than Watkins Glen or any of those other examples. Done well, moving ahead of Colin Lounsbury. There's a time in this race when Lincoln Fox was 31st position, now in 8th, and hunting down Tim Wire for 7th. Not too far behind Alex Harrison in 6th either. Last lap from Fox, 38.5, 39.8 from Wire. So this is closing in quickly. And I think Wire, who's dropped back from Harrison, might have a little bit of fuel worries, because that is a car well and truly off pace. Lincoln Fox is unleashed and still has enough time to try to catch and make some passes. There's a chance for plenty more action to happen in these final couple of minutes. 4th and 5th are also super close. We go there. Ryan Puckdell just behind Kyle Robertson. Sure looked like Robertson had a tyre advantage 5 or 10 laps ago. I think it might have equalised just a little bit. Like the leaders had to, they've got to lap Cindy Pickett. And on the exit of the museum turn, Kyle Robertson goes past. Ryan Puckdell goes past. Lincoln Fox is gaining hand over fist. Left Tim Wire behind. Applying the blowtorch to Alex Harrison for 6th position. With time to spare, Michael Polisek's just crossed the start-finish line to trigger 2 laps to go, I think. Here's a little touch and go. We'll keep an eye on that one. I'm trying to do maths in my head right now. Minute 38, 3:20 on the clock. Oh, it will be very close if it's 2 laps to go or 3 laps to go. White flag won't have waved this time, so it's next time that we'll know the white flag waves or doesn't, whether this is going to be a 36 or 37 lap race. I think we were predicting 37. So we'll see what the pace from Polasek is. We'll also keep an eye on the pace from Lincoln Fox. Last lap, 38.8. Third fastest car in the field behind Michael Polasek and Joshua Soto. And 1.1 seconds quicker than Alex Harrison. Whoa, a miscommunication there. Fox trying to psych out Alex Harrison. Alex Harrison kind of trying to let Lincoln Fox go. Lincoln Fox will go up in a 6th. Harrison and Wire both looking a little short on fuel. Often happens in these races. You have a 30 minutes of close pack racing and slipstreaming, and you save a lot of fuel in those circumstances. Then you take your pit stop, you appear all by your own, and it's a tough slog at higher fuel consumption, racing all by yourself. So if you don't predict that and give yourself a little bit of buffer margin, you can find yourself in the back half of the race struggling to save as much fuel as you did in the first half. Does not seem to be a problem for Lincoln Fox, who goes up in a 6th. And in fact, now I look, I don't think anyone had a shorter pit stop than Alex Harrison's 20.4. Not that I can see on the live timing. So what flag's waving at the start-finish line? Michael Polasek has crossed it. And I'm not seeing anything that says final lap. Neither of our timing sources say final lap. Logan Sennhauser is about to cross the line so we could see with him. Nope, no white flag waving, so the white flag will wave next time Michael Polasek comes by. Still 1.5 laps left for the leader, 2 laps left for everyone crossing the line just now. From 4.5 seconds at its lowest, Michael Polasek is back out to an 8.5 second race lead. Heart-in-mouth moments abound. Sean Roberts has a snap and a slide in front of the race leader. So too did Cindy Pickett, which is where the contact came from that dissolved Michael Polasek's commanding race lead. Now with the clock just running out a second as Polasek crosses the line, it sends us round for one more lap, the final lap of round 8 of the ChampCar iRacing series from Barber Motorsports Park. The championship leader with this race halfway in his back pocket from Joshua Soto and Jared Collins. Ryan Puchtel might be running out of fuel. Alex Harrison too. Tim Wire has come back at both of them and gone up into 6th, and this is way off pace from Ryan Puchtel on the last lap. Puchtel with one of the other quick pit stop times at just 22 seconds. Most pit stops were between 24 and 26 seconds today. Teammates Bowie Sewin and Mitchell Booth, well, when do the team orders end and the sibling rivalry start? Perhaps right now. Michael Polasek, multiple race wins to his name in 2025. The championship leader didn't qualify on pole, had to fight Lincoln Fox, had to pass Lincoln Fox, then had to recover from being hit by a lapped car, but you wouldn't know as he sails towards the checkered flag, nearly 10 seconds race lead in his back pocket. Round 8 of the ChampCar iRacing Series 2025, and Michael Polasek wins at Barber Motorsports Park from Joshua Soto and Jared Collins. It's a few drivers in trouble on the final lap as the needle in the fuel gauge hits empty, but not Kyle Robertson, Mitchell Booth, or Lincoln Fox. Ryan Puchtel is losing more and more spots. Alex Harrison's also in trouble. Where's Harrison? Bowie Sewin's gone past him. Oh, he's hardly making it over the hill. He's going to lose more spots. Alex Harrison is out of fuel. 2 corners to go. Here comes TJ Yankee. Here comes Ryan Puchtel. Puchtel's lost spots, but he's conserved all the way to the end. Puchtel gets him back, and you've got to get all the way along the front straight. Who's next? Oh, here comes Logan Sennhauser. Here comes Miles Brown out in the grass. He's not going to make it. They're going to pass him. Here comes Colin Lounsbury. But Alex Harrison gets to the line. Ian Giebler across the line in 17th. Last car on the lead lap will be 20th place Will Warren. Everyone from 21st place Sean Robertson back did end up a lap behind Michael Polasek. Miles Brown and the drive trainer guys have got a decent formation going on the cool down lap. That's a photo that they're going to try to hang I think LaShawn Young-Dilworth, maybe they see him with the right paint on. I don't, but that's the turn up from the guys at Drive Trainer Motorsports. Kyle Robertson winning the Drive Trainer Motorsports Challenge class. But Michael Polisek's the race winner. He takes 50 points and another race win to his CV at Barber, one step closer to the grand prize $2,000 of ChampCar Endurance Series credit that Polisek's already driven in the ChampCar Endurance Series. Already knows where he'd want to put that kind of prize to more real-world wheel-to-wheel racing. Tongue twister. Josh Soto, Jared Collins joining him on the podium as we continue to go through the results. Kyle Robertson 4th, Lincoln Fox recovering to 5th, Tim Wire in 6th, Bowie Sue in 7th, Mitchell Booth 8th, TJ Yankee in 9th. Ryan Puchtel recognised the fuel situation he was in early and saved to stay in the top 10. Logan Stenhauser in 11th, Miles Brown 12th, Alex Harrison running out of fuel and dropping from 6th to 13th on the final lap. Colin Lounsbury, Orlando Herald, Joseph Maher, Ian Giebler, LaShawn Young-Dilworth, Curtis Lee and Will Warren, the top 20, all of them completing 38 laps, one more than predicted, of Barber Motorsports Park. Such was the pace of Michael Polisek. Sean Roberts completing 21, Kyle Guillory, Steve Hermé, John Nicholford, Matt McGee, Cameron Senhauser, Christopher Reagan, Kevin Glass in 28th. Cindy Pickett in 29th, Bill Salen 30th, and Aaron Brown in 31st. The last driver to complete at least half race distance. No, I think Nick Love with 14 laps completed half race distance as well. I think everyone has completed this race, which is important for this being round 8. Everyone who completed rounds 5, 6, 7, and 8 are going into the draw for a prize. So even if you finished 31st or 32nd, being a classified finisher can matter this year in the ChampCar in iRacing series. That's our results. And some of our drivers are standing by. 3rd on the podium, Jared Collins is going to join us. Well, hello, Jared. Congrats.
Hey, thank you.
Certainly had a good look at Joshua Soto for most of that race, and a chance that you guys could have brought the fight.
Yeah, it was after the pit stops. He had me, and I don't know if he was saving fuel, but I felt like I was reeling him in pretty good for the first couple laps. Then we kind of held at the 3-second mark, at a 3-second back. I thought if I could get another second going through lap traffic, I might be able to get in his draft and suck up back to him. But yeah, I got to the 3 seconds, then kind of just stalled out there.
Hot day, and by the looks of the lap times, you could certainly feel that after a couple of laps on the tires.
Yeah, it was really slick and greasy. Make sure not to overdrive, especially in this car. You'd wash out and lose a bunch of time and lose your momentum. So really had to try to keep the tires under you. And after the pit stops, you could push a little bit, but tires got hot and greasy, and then lose all your grip in the heat.
You're one of the drivers battling for a top 3 in the championship since the drop rounds factored in, and last round Ryan Puchtel had jumped you, but a result like this, I think you've put a little bit of a delta between yourself and him. What's your focus at this point of the season, seeing how dominant our championship leader is? What are you fighting for?
Yeah, I think ultimately I'm fighting with Ryan for second. He's a great competitor and very fast, very clean. So hoping that I can just be consistent, keep finishing on the podium, and see where the cards fall at the end. We'll see though. I think might need some more second places and maybe take the fight to to pull a sec at least once. But he had the field pretty covered today by a lot.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for joining us. 4 rounds to go. Best of luck, Jared.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
we got our whole podium. So we can move to second place, Josh Soto. So talk us through your perspective of everything that happened across 38 laps, 8th on the grid to second place, and plenty happening in between.
Oh yeah. So in qualifying, I was trying to place as high as possible, of course, but had some trouble in qualifying, so I ended up in P8, and then the main goal was just fight through the pack and try to get up to hopefully up to around second, so I can maintain pace with Polisek. But it didn't go too well. Wait, hold on one second. Sorry. Yeah, it didn't go too well, but yeah, it was just pretty much just try to close the gap and then get a good pit stop, which I unfortunately did. But weren't able to close the gap.
So across the 3 cars that we've got for the championship this year, I definitely think of this Mazda as one of your best cars. Is it a case that there's a lot and a lot of experience that you can bring to a round like this?
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to hop into like a BMW with not that much practice and then be able to be competitive, but yeah, definitely the experience in the MX-5 does play a huge part in being able to match paces. So yeah, definitely goes to experience.
Well, congrats on the second place. And, for a second there, it looked like you were really making the eventual race winner have to work for it and have to keep his pace up and have to maybe take some risks cutting through the traffic as well.
Oh, yeah. I think I did have like a little bit of damage. I'm not sure where, but yeah, it was, I had seen him spin around the chicane complex, I believe, and I was wondering if he had contact with another car, but he didn't, and he maintained pace. He's just a really fast driver. So, congrats to Polisek.
Nice. We'll see you around, Josh, and congratulations.
Thank you.
That means there's one last person on the podium to speak to. It's the race winner, Michael Polisek, and well, lots of things I could ask you. Thinking towards the end of the race, how deliberate was your pace to make this a 38-lap race?
Honestly, I was just driving at that point. From after I got the 2-second gap early on in the race, so it was just a matter of just vibe and survive the lap traffic. So it was very inadvertent that I had accidentally made the race 37 laps. I was planning for it to go 37, which is why I took the extra fuel. But I was surprised it still went 37 because my fuel calculator was saying like, oh, the race is going to be like 36.01. And usually that means it goes 36.
And we've seen you win in all 3 cars. You've put yourself in the best spot at this stage of the season with another win. What are your goals for the remaining 4 rounds of the season?
Win all 4 of them. Quite simple. And
I guess since last time we spoke, you had just done some racing. What's in the future for Michael Polisek? Where are people going to see you?
So next month I'm going to be running the Thompson 12-hour with Ramen Racing. Their car, I raced it at Watkins Glen, and it's a quick car, especially in the corners. So I'm definitely looking forward to driving that. People have told me it's a really fun to drive car, very easy to drive. So hopefully I'll be able to just jump it and get on pace as soon as possible. And after that, I'm not entirely entirely sure what's in store for me. I'd like to do a lot more ChampCar, so if any teams are interested, please contact me on Discord or anywhere else.
You hear that? If you need a race winner, a season champion in your car, Michael Polisek's available, everyone. Okay, I'm spreading the good word for you. And any other moments from the race that sort of stuck out to you? There's sort of one very obvious one.
Yeah, the lap 1 shenanigans, I'm not entirely sure what happened. I wasn't really expecting Lincoln to lift off through that flat-out corner. I don't really know what was going on there. But other than that, the race was pretty clean. The incident that I had with Cindy later on in the race was just unfortunate. Just a matter of both of us just not leaving enough space. But other than that, pretty clean race, and looking forward to what the next round is.
Well, thanks for chatting. Congratulations. And is there anyone that helps you, supports you, or anyone you'd like to thank?
Yes, definitely. First of all, thanks to everybody from the Alpha Touring Challenge for watching and supporting me through pretty much every single round of ChampCar. Couldn't do this without you guys. Thanks also to my friends and family for supporting me as well. And thanks very much to my new team, WSR Esports, for giving me all the support that they've got. And I'm going to be running a few races with them very, very soon.
Awesome. Look forward to it. See you around, and best of luck at Thompson.
Thank you very much.
So our podium finishes: third place Jared Collins, second place Joshua Soto, and race winner, championship leader Michael Polisek, extending his championship lead yet further. A lot of wins in his back pocket. I don't think he's mathematically sealed it yet, but it is looking good for Michael Polisek. He still plans to extend that with 4 rounds to go. The next round of the ChampCar iRacing series is Virginia International Raceway in the Toyota GR86, August 6th. Means that the last day in July is going to be a practice round as well. We run a practice the Wednesdays before championship rounds. And so hopefully you can join us for those as well. Forum.champcar.org's got all the information on the ChampCar iRacing series, the schedule, the prizes, how to join us, and we hope you will. In fact, if you do join us from next round with 4 rounds to go and you complete all 4 of them, you'll be in the draw to win a prize, whether you win any races or not. And we'll have the draw from rounds 5 to 8 to happen as well. Plenty more to come this year for ChampCar iRacing series. Been our pleasure to bring you round 8 from Barber live on HJBC and ChampCar Live. I've been David Haynes with Michael Derby, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for Toyota GR86 at VIR.